It's time for NHL Arena rankings. I'm going to rank what I think are the worst looking NHL arenas to what I think are the best looking NHL arenas. This has nothing to do with how iconic they are. This is how I think they look. This is also nothing to do with what they look like on the inside because I'm ranking them based on exterior looks. So this is the external arena rankings, the what they look on the outside NHL arena rankings, because I don't know if I wanted to rank the inside of them because I've been to like two ever. And so I kind of feel a little weird not having like an indoor tour. And maybe that's the same could be said for having an outdoor tour, but hey, I've got Google Earth to help me out here today. So we're going to take some Google Earth trips, kind of some journeys to some that haven't even been built yet. No, just one hasn't been built at the time of this, and that's actually number 32, which is Mullet Arena. As you'll see here, it has not been built. And then the next one we go through is actually a flat image. It didn't get 3D'd. But here's Mullet Arena anyway, as it stands now. And after the next ranking, after number 31, all the 3D Google Earth works well. It works well after this, or it's updated, right? So, yeah. But here we have Mullet Arena. It has to be last. And just to make it clear, if you look at the bigger picture on your left here, it is that white rooftop that's slanted and that meets at the top in the middle. That's also part of Mullet Arena. I believe that's the main part of the arena, and then the kind of rectangular building at the what looks to us like the front. That's an extra rink that is part of the complex there, but it's the whole thing is Mullet Arena. Either way, it ranks very low. It's not too bad looking. Like you can see, the exterior looks kind of nice, but again, it ranks pretty low here. At 31, I have Washington, D.C. Capital One Arena. And I think there's just not that much to it, especially as we move on to other arenas. It just doesn't seem like there's quite as much to it. It's just kind of a boring square, and I know there's kind of a circular roof, but even that is a little bit boring when we see the other ones. So that's where it ranks for me, is at number 31. At number 30, I have Toronto. I have the Scotiabank Arena. It used to be the Air Canada Centre. And this one is kind of just based off of the surroundings in part was why it's this low, but also it's not really the most, captivating looking building. But again, what ranks it even lower than that is just the fact that it's kind of buried in downtown. It's just not a lot to look at. I remember being in a vehicle as we drove by this and looking to the side and thinking, that's it? That's the arena? There, it's not this grandiose thing. It's not something that screams out to you. It's just kind of this building in the middle of downtown Toronto. And I mean, there are angles where you can see the CN Tower in the background. I didn't put a picture of that on here, but it's true, there is in a way a nice view in some sense, but as we're going with this, it just kind of lackluster in the fact that it's just kind of right there in downtown. At 29, it's somewhat of a similar situation, as you'll see when we zoom in here. It's kind of right there in downtown, which kind of takes away from it, and it's also not the most exciting looking building. There's a little bit of a tower on the top of it, but the TD Garden in Boston is just, again, not going to rank too highly for me based on where it is. And we're similar thing with number 28. We're going to Montreal to the Bell Center, which atmosphere-wise, when you get in there, I've heard it's like the loudest building, it's the best building to play in, it's the most exciting, and the fans are the best. And And I don't doubt that. But the exterior of the building, on the other hand, is not the most exciting. And so, yeah, I mean, you got a nice little park. I don't know if it's a park, but I don't know if you see it there on the top right image. There's a nice little area on the outside with the Canadians logo, and I'm not sure exactly what all is there, but it's just a nice little space. I'm assuming there's a bunch of statues of the different historic figures and maybe even names of other people on there. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, it looks nice. It bumps it up a little bit more because there's a little more to it than the other two. But again, it's not the nicest, most amazing piece of architecture, you know? So it's here at 28. At 27, I have Rogers Arena in Vancouver. And, it's kind of a little bit of a similar situation to Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Not totally. It is a better looking building, I would say, and it's not as buried as Toronto's building is. As you drive up to this one, you do see it at the forefront, and it is kind of nice driving up to it. It's more prominent. But again, it's not going to rank too highly, as it's not, again, the greatest thing you've ever seen, right? Like it's better than the others, but again, it doesn't rank too highly here. I mean, I love it personally as a Canucks fan, but oh, yeah, not gonna let my bias go that far this time. I'm gonna keep them down at 27. At 26, we're going to Winnipeg, and we have the Canada Life Center. And yeah, kind of another one of those somewhat generic ones in the middle of downtown. It stands out a bit more because of this nice window cylinder area, which does look pretty nice. And I've always really liked that, seeing that when have seen the building on TV or whatever when a Jets game comes on. It's kind of a nice thing to look at, but again, it's not going to bring it up too much, right? And so we have it at 26, not much higher than that will it get. 25, going to Minneapolis, St. Paul. And actually, St. Paul, I'm pretty sure, is exactly where this is. It's in the It's in the Twin Cities, but it's in St. Paul specifically. And yeah, we have the XL Energy Center. You got a bit better of a design of an arena, nice and circular in a way, at least at the front. But it kind of looks nice at the front with that circular kind of shape. And that's kind of what moves it up a little bit more than the others. It's just a little bit better shaped. And so, yeah, I can't put it up too much higher. But yeah, it's not bad, but it doesn't rank among, the good exterior buildings. That's at least what I think. 24, I have PNC Arena, the Carolina Hurricanes Arena. And actually, one thing that you'll see here is I actually really like the parking lot area. I think that makes it look super cool. But you're not going to get too high up based on parking lot area, because I'm mostly looking at the building. And I know there's some things about the surroundings that I'll take into account that you'll see later on, but mostly I'm looking right at the building, and it kind of looks a little boring. Like it's a fine looking circular building, but I don't know, just the way that the logo is placed on there and the colors of that logo, I don't know, it just seems a little boring. And so it's higher than some of the other ones because it's got a decent shape, but I don't know. Even the shape is kind of, in a way, generic. It's just rounder, and I guess I'm just more on round generic buildings. I'm higher on round generic buildings than I am on generic square buildings or rectangular buildings, right? So, yeah, I guess that's why it's higher up. But the parking lot's pretty nice. I'll say that. At 23, we're going to Buffalo this time, and we're going to Key Bank. I almost want to say Key Bank Arena. I feel like that rolls off my tongue better, Key Bank Arena. But apparently it's the Key Bank Center. The Key Bank Center. yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could use more color, but yeah. Anyway, it's all right. Kind of bean shaped a little bit, but yeah, not bad. And this entryway here is also very nice. I really appreciate that alumni plaza kind of walkway that goes above there with all the historic Sabres players on there and some current ones as well. I believe there's some current ones. I not zooming in there, I guess, but yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's really nice. Yeah, it's nice, but again, when we get into the other ones, it just doesn't rank as highly as some of those other ones do. 22, and this is kind of it's not bad. It's kind of a sleek design. I have the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. And again, it's maybe not the most exciting thing in the world, but I feel like the design is a little bit sleeker than the other ones so far. So, yeah, that's why it's here. At 21, we're going to Chicago to the United Center. And yeah, the United Center, it's another one of those buildings that, it's pretty cool looking in a way, but it's not something that stands out too much when we get to uniqueness of buildings. It's not the most unique building that there is, but as far as non-unique buildings go, like it's a pretty solid looking building. It's solid looking look wise, I guess. But yeah, I guess yeah, it looks solid. Looks like it could withstand some winds there. But yeah, it's yeah. Again, with these, I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I don't know how much I can describe that brings these up higher in my eyes. There's just a few things here and there, and just kind of the looks of it in general. Like, oh, that looks good. Looks good. I'm no architect myself, and so I'm not going to give you the details. Which would be cool if an architect did some kind of ranking like this. I would love that. An architect going around ranking the buildings. I'd watch that for sure. But that's not this video. That's not me. At number 20, we're going to kind of a Coliseum-like building well, it's not in Ottawa, but it is the Ottawa Senators building, which is the Canadian Tire Center. And yeah, it's different, right? It's a nice different circular building. Again, it kind of looks like the Coliseum in some ways. But yeah, I don't know. It's not going to rank too highly, but it ranks higher than the others because there's a bit more uniqueness starting to go on here. And this is kind of where we're rolling into the more unique buildings. Again, is a circular building unique? Not totally, but again, it's got that Coliseum-like vibe to it that I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll bring it up there. I'll bring it up there. Number 19, I am going to Las Vegas for the Vegas Golden Knights T-Mobile Arena. And again, another one that's a little bit more unique than some of the other ones. It's got some nice, sleek design to it. A really cool giant screen on the front, and I like that a lot. I think that's super cool. And I don't know if they do for sure, but I would imagine they probably would have that screen going during games and maybe showing the broadcast. Again, I'm not totally sure, but I would imagine that's probably something that they would do, and that would be really cool. This seems like a nice arena to be standing on the outside of, a nice arena to, it's just kind of a nice, what do you call that area? The promenade? I don't know. I don't know what you call it. But kind of that kind of sidewalk area that's outside the front of it. This is a pretty nice one. Just for hanging out and, I don't know. I guess maybe watching the game, right? Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's just advertisements going the whole time, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, anyway. We got T-Mobile Arena at number 19. Number 18, I'm going to Detroit to a very new building, Little Caesars Arena, which is pretty nice. And we're starting to get into more ones that I would actually call, I would call nice. I like all of the next ones that are coming up, and I would call them good. I don't know if I call it great. I feel like the building, I don't know. I don't know if the old school outside of it meshes as well with kind of the blimp looking inside. That's the only thing that's kind of making me think I ranked it a little lower. But overall, again, really great arena. Looks good on the outside. I like it. I like it. Number 17, we are going to Philadelphia. And we're going to take a look at the Wells Fargo Center. And this one is another one that actually, in some ways, seems pretty generic. But I don't know. I feel like it looks really good. And this is another one where it's like, can I explain myself why this is higher than Little Caesars Arena? And my explanation is gonna be, I just like the look better. I don't know. It just popped, when I was looking at pictures and when I was, looking at the Google Earth, 3D stuff. I don't know. It just popped. It just really popped in my eyes, and so that's why it's higher than Little Caesars. Is it better designed? I don't know, but in my eyes, I just like it better. I like it. I love how white it is too. Like, I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, but it just looks nice and bright, and maybe that makes it more plain and more boring. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of times it might, but I feel like it just looks good here. I just feel like it works well here with the Wells Fargo Center. So that's why it's here. Number 16, I have the Los Angeles Kings Crypto.com Arena, formerly called the Staples Center. And, the roof definitely brings it up. Otherwise, it would kind of be maybe similar to the XL Energy Center, but I don't know. I like the roof. This is one of the more iconic locations, but again, I'm not going by iconic. And it does. I don't know if they removed it now, but on this bottom right picture here, you see that the kind of structure where it used to have the Staples Center words or the Staples Center letters on there. It used to say Staples Center on there. It's gone. Staples Center is gone, but that structure is still there. And so, I mean, are they going to put something else up there, or have they already that I just didn't see as I was looking at pictures? I'm not sure. So, yeah, they might do that. They should do that. Either that or they got to, remove it. But I'm sure they probably will do something, or maybe they already have. Again, let me know. Because this might just be a picture from, last year, or just when, the first games were happening after they changed the name. So, again, I'm not sure. But, yeah, it's a decent looking arena. And, again, I do really like the roof there. 15, I have Ball Arena in Denver here. So we're going to Denver for this one. And yeah, this is just another one that I really like the look. And especially as we got into the actual images that people have taken of it and not just this 3D part, I really like the images that I'm seeing here. I just think the design looks really nice and clean, and I like the name Ball Arena better than the Pepsi Center. Of course, you see a couple Pepsi signs because some of the pictures are a tiny bit older. I know Ball Arena. I like it because it sounds a little silly, but I like the name Ball Arena. But the logo looks cool right on the side there, Ball Arena. Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks pretty clean, pretty sleek, and yeah, just an overall nice arena. 14, we're going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for this one, to PPG Paints Arena. And this one actually has a church, like right there, right on the grounds, right on the arena grounds, there's a church, which actually makes it look pretty nice. I think the church out there helps the building, I would imagine. But the building itself is nice too. And again, we're taking some things into account about the surroundings, so the church does play a little bit of a role in it being this high. But again, the main thing is the building. And the building, I think, looks pretty nice. I think that's a pretty nice exterior. I do like when arenas have a bunch of windows. And again, it depends on, again, what you're seeing when I'm bringing these images up to you. But I've looked at more images than this, and it looks good either way, whether it's at night with all this neon and all this lighting and all these colors, or if it's just during the day regularly. And again, I didn't bring a real, I mean, I did. You can kind of see it behind the church there, but it still looks good regardless. And so, yeah, I'm all, I have it at 14. So yeah. 13. And this is one that I've always really liked. The SAP Center, the SAP Center. I've always really liked it. It used to be called the HP Center, HP Pavilion Center, or I don't know if it was called Center, but I think it was HP Pavilion. But I remember seeing it, in games when I was younger, and I was like, that's a really cool thing. And looking at pictures now, it's not quite as cool as I remember, but I do really like the front window area there, and it's a different design. It's almost kind of like got like a mohawk going, and so it's a different looking thing, and I think it looks good, and so I've always really liked it. Again, it's ranking a little lower than I probably would have thought when I came into gathering all these images and putting all this, Google Earth search stuff video on here and whatever. But I still, yeah, I still like it. Number 12, I have Columbus Blue Jackets Nationwide Arena. And first of all, I know it's a brand name, or I don't know if it's a brand. It's a sponsor name. Nationwide is a corporation, but I think it sounds cool anyway. I think it's a cool name, Nationwide Arena. The other thing that's really nice about this one is the tower. I really like the tower on it. I think that's a nice little touch. And I don't know why they put it up, or if it was just to make it look cool, or if there's some purpose for it being there, but I think it's cool. It looks nice. I think it fits very well, and it's part of the reason why this is so high up. And even without that, like, looking at these pictures too, it's nice. I really like the kind of brick built buildings, and you'll see that a little later too, that there's some more brick built ones. And again, is it fake brick or is it actually built with bricks? I'm not totally sure. Who knows? But probably real bricks. Like, I don't know why they'd use. I don't know. I I don't know. But anyway, I'll just move on. I like the look. It looks good. Makes it look really good. And yeah, nice little garden out front too. That's a nice little thing, right? I mean, a lot of places have that, but I don't know. It just looks nice. It just looks like a nice community area where you can just like walk in and enjoy yourself an awesome, well, not this year. Enjoy yourself a loss, but cheer on your team anyway, right? But but yeah. Yeah. Number 11, we're going to Tampa for Emily Arena, and this one definitely helps because of the surroundings that it has. A very, very, very nice area for sure. This is built on. So yeah, that definitely props it up a little bit. You see that kind of corner picture there, that left-hand side corner picture, and it's just like, it just makes it look so nice with all the palm trees right on the water there, and yeah, that definitely helps. And this whole common area outside the arena as well, that definitely helps us too. I love the balcony outside too. Like, one of the things about this, and then the one we'll see in the future that's also in Florida, is just like that they have some patio areas that are just awesome. Like, you go outside, you enjoy that warm summer like weather, and as you're, enjoying the deep runs that the Lightning tend to go on, and you go out and you enjoy that warmth, and you come back in and you get some air conditioned, hockey ice coolness, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I just love those patio areas that they have here. I just think they're so cool. And of course that, that lightning bolt structure, I think it's kind of cool. Like, it maybe isn't the most amazing thing in the world, but I think it's pretty cool, that lightning bolt statue thing outside there. Yeah, Emily Arena, it's pretty nice. I like it. But going into the top 10, we'll start our top 10 off with something that I don't think is very. I don't know how this will be. I really like it, but I don't know how this will go. But at number 10, I have the Prudential Center in New Jersey, and I just really like this design. I just really love how this looks, and I can't really explain it much more than that, but I just really, really like it. This is not something that I expected to be in here like this high when I was thinking about, oh, what are the best arenas that are in the NHL? But yet, I look at this and I'm like, this is 10th place. Like, this is really good. I really like it. Um, yeah, I know it's one of those downtown ones, but I feel like it's not one that's buried in downtown where downtown's kind of overtaking it. I feel like it stands out nicely downtown, and again, just I don't know that front area too with the two mountains. That's a Prudential logo, I'm pretty sure, but the two mountains there, it's just a nice front face. You know, you got the two big cylinders also there, and oh, I don't know, I just there's something about this that just makes me love it. I just really love it, and it's not going to rank as high as some of the other ones, but this is an underrated one for me, at least I think. I don't know, I mean, maybe people's rankings have this higher. I haven't really watched a arena ranking in like years, so I'm just kind of going off this, like, thinking, oh yeah, I'll just go in and see what I think, which is good. I like going in just seeing how I think and not being like swayed by anything. But yeah, I like this a lot. Number 9, we have the classic, the legendary, probably the best interior, I would say, but exterior not quite the best, but still very, very good. I love this nice circular building. I think it looks nice. Is it buried in downtown? Not as much as Toronto's, not as much as Vancouver's, right? It's downtown, but it's still, it's one of those buildings that still stands out. You know, not if you're looking at the skyline, obviously, but which arena does. But if you're looking at, you know, pictures like this, for instance, it's just nicely there, slotted in downtown, looks good, nice little circle. It lights up all around. I think that's really awesome that it lights up all around. And yeah, it's just such a nice building. You know, it's not gonna rank as high as some of these other ones, but still, like, it's still a nice building. 8, we're going to Anaheim. We're going to Cali, and we're going to the Honda Center. And yeah, I like the Honda Center. I think it's really nice. Another one of those buildings that's not just, you know, boring. It's got some color to it. It's got this kind of green also to it. I don't know what kind of green that would be, but I think that's kind of a cool thing. It's got green there. It's got kind of that orangish, brownish outside texture as well. And yeah, I just think it's really nice. That's me. It's a nice building. It's got that nice kind of arched window that I love, those kind of things, those big windows on here. And so yeah, nicely done. Anaheim Ducks organization, Mighty Ducks organization. Anyway, we're going to Belmont Park, right? That's what it's called, Belmont Park. Yeah, and UBS Arena for number 7. I really like this one. I really like this one. And you know, it's in a nice, really nice spot. The horse tracks right there, and but in general, it's just a nice looking building. Like, look at this picture. It's just a really nice brick building. I just love it. I think it's just so well built, so good looking, and yeah, I really love it. A lot of these arenas are just making me want to visit there, and I'm just like, man, I would love to see a game at like every arena. You know, I don't even care. I'll go to Mullet Arena. I'll go to Capital One. I don't know what Capital One is like on the inside, but it's, yeah, it's probably pretty nice in there, honestly. Moving on, we are going to Sunrise, right? We're going to Florida Live Arena, FLA Live Arena. And I just love this. I absolutely love this arena. I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm actually thinking maybe I ranked it too low. I'm not sure right now. I'm like, oh, this is a pretty nice one. But if we look at our pictures here, I just love it. I love those umbrella things that are outside. I think that adds so nice of a touch to the whole complex and kind of common area in the front there. If you're in that common area too, and you're looking like we see in that bottom picture, it kind of looks like a monument or something there. It just like has that really cool entrance looking area. Maybe without the jet blue thing would be a little nicer, but oh well, that doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, just a really nice walking in area. I love it. I love the balconies on the side too. It makes me think of it's not quite the balcony that Amalie Arena has, but it still makes me think of like, oh yeah, it's I'm gonna enjoy the nice heat for a little while and then go right back in and enjoy the coolness. I don't know. I just think it's cool. I think it's so well designed. Very nice arena. And man, I want to go. I want to go. I want to go and watch a game there. I want to go visit. It just seeing all these Google Earth travel things and all these things, it just makes me want to travel and do stuff. But anyway, maybe one day. Maybe I'll go one day. I have other travel plans too that I would like to do in other countries than the U.S. and Canada. So I'd probably go there first before I go to a Florida Live game. But anyway, number 5, I have Bridgestone Arena, going to Nashville for this one, and this one's pretty unique. It's very unique. It's got a nice big tower on the front. And the shape is pretty unique too. I'm just reminded of like maybe a whale coming out of the water or something like that. I know that's probably, not a very Nashville type thing at all. Whales in Nashville? I don't know. Maybe they have an aquarium, but but anyway, no. No, but I just like the look of it. It's unique. That tower is really nice. You can see it's part of that logo that they had on their shoulder at one point. That Nashville Tower is part of it, or the Bridgestone Arena Tower. It's part of it. Yeah, not much else to say. It's just unique and nice and looks good, and I like the tower. And yeah, number 4, we're going to Calgary for one of the more unique looking buildings. And one of the old, actually probably it is the oldest right now. It is the oldest building in the NHL. But we're going to the Saddle Dome, the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. And as you can see, it does look like an actual dome from the Google perspective. But if we look at the pictures here, you can see, oh yeah, it does look like a saddle. Oh yeah, it actually maybe looks like a Pringle too. And in one image, it kind of looks like maybe like the side of a tugboat or something. Or maybe not just a tugboat, but maybe just a ship, the Titanic. I don't know. It looks like a bunch of different things, right? But I love it. I think it's very unique. And, if you're sitting in the nosebleeds in a game there, maybe it's not the best experience. So maybe they do need a bit of an update, right? They need a new arena. But, and not just for that reason, for a bunch of reasons. It is an old building, but still an awesome looking building, and a building that I hope they don't tear it down. I hope if they get a new building and they move somewhere else in Calgary, right? I'm not saying relocation here in the sense of moving to another city. But I hope they keep the building because it's a really awesome building. It's pretty iconic, right? It's one of those iconic landmarks. And so, yeah, anyway, I have that here at number 4. And I love it. And I don't know if everyone would rate it this high because some people don't like it as much. Some people think it's a little silly. But for me, I don't care. I love it. Number 3, we're going to Seattle, to the newly renovated, I don't know what it used to be called actually, but it's now Climate Pledge Arena. So that is where the Seattle Kraken play. And again, a unique shape. I almost said it, and maybe I shouldn't because then maybe people will start saying this, but I'll say it. It reminded me for 1 second of Pizza Hut. But hey, let's get that out of our minds here, because it is a very nice building. Looks so unique, right? And the uniqueness definitely brings it up. And I love the windows. Like, look at that. The windows, you can see right into the game. I think that's an amazing thing, actually. I'm not sure how many arenas do that. There might have been another one that kind of, you could do that, but I don't know if you can just walk up and do that. I'm not sure. But I just think it's really awesome. I think it's so awesome. Yeah. Let's just move on. Number 2, we're going to one that I did not think that I would. I don't know if I remember ever seeing this before, but it is amazing. It's such an amazing looking building. Is the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Like, this is so good. It's such a nice building, and oh man, I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of it. It's this huge looking thing in Dallas there, and you've got this nice brick going all the way around, I believe, as far as I can see. Like, unreal. Like, I feel like my descriptions of all of these are so bad. but this is my ranking, and we're gonna go number 1 now, which I think that it was pretty predictable what number 1 would have been, based on appearance alone. This is one of the most futuristic looking things that you'll ever see. And we're going to Edmonton, Alberta, and we're going to check out Rogers Place. And I just absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It's so big. It's so big. Like, I can't get over how huge this place is, but also how nice it looks. And, you know, I just got to hand it to Edmonton. Like, they made such an amazing looking building. Futuristic as well, very futuristic looking. But, yeah, just very nice, very wavy. And again, it's huge. I think it's this huge looking thing. I haven't been there. I don't know. Maybe I'll go there. That's maybe somewhere I would. Oilers are my least favorite team, and so it'd be a little weird maybe being in that atmosphere of like cheering every time an Oilers get a goal or whatever. I mean, I would go to an away game and cheer for the away team, but it would be weird to be in that atmosphere of like everything going crazy when Edmonton scores, when McDavid scores. But anyway, yeah, that's my ranking. And so, yeah, if you like it, like it. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Like, you have your own view on things, I'm sure, but let me know what they are, right? If you have a different view, if you think, you know, I rated something too low or rated something too high, like, let me know. Let me know what your ranking is. You can give me a full out list if you want. You can just say what your favorites are and your least favorites. Yeah, just let me know what I have too high, what I have too low, what you would rank differently, and yeah, that's it.